Specifically now, microphones. Now, I've mentioned a couple of times that your computer has got a microphone built into it, and your mobile phone and portable recorder have got microphones built into them. So there are different applications where microphones are already existing. But you could also possibly buy or have a microphone that you've been using for Skype conversations on a headset. You might have a lapel mic. You might even have a desk mic like what I'm using in front of me. Desk mics are great. They have this beautiful dynamic range that they pick up, and they sound really good. But unfortunately, you need to have a little mixing desk and an interface to connect it with the computer. That's if you're going to be a little bit serious. But nowadays, there are some desk microphones that actually have a USB interface, so you can plug them directly into your computer from the microphone. And they're not that expensive. You can get them for $100 or so, and they're worth looking at depending on how far down this path you want to go. Test what you might already have and whether it suits your purposes. Do some test recordings, do some transfers, mess about with the editing packages, see what the quality sounds like, see how impressed you are with it or how disappointed you are. The third thing that we need to look at is what level of skill do you have with the technology? How comfortable are you with the recorder, of using it and actually recording? Whether it be a portable recorder or the computer. How comfortable are you with setting the microphones up so that you pick up the sound in the best possible way? Do you have an understanding of the ambient background noises that can actually hinder a recording? What editing software do you have? Or what editing software could you get for your machine? Like I said, GarageBand or Audacity are two great programs for everybody to use, and they're free. Have you used them before? Have you used them for just topping and tailing, removing the intro and outro problems that you might have on a bit of recording, or have you got more serious into the editing process? And publishing. How have you distributed any audio in the past? Have you sent it out by burning CDs and DVDs? And what experience do you have with sharing the audio? Do you have blogging experience? Have you transferred files over the internet, whether it be email or other systems? What are the different ways that you've had of publishing this information? With your test recording, how well does it work, and how are your skills with all this stuff? How familiar are you with it? Do you feel comfortable with it, or do you need to learn a considerable bit more? Give yourself time to learn. It does take time. And if you get started and work your way through some of the issues, you'll get the general idea and you'll develop from those skills and build a resource of knowledge that will help you grow through the experience of recording, editing, and publishing. Don't expect to know everything when you start. Learn on the job. That's what I did when I first got underway at this. I didn't know anything about any of this stuff, and I basically just started and I built on all that knowledge bit by bit. And it's amazing how over the months you can slowly accrue this wealth of knowledge that means that you can put out, I think, pretty good content and engaging content, because what you're recording is somebody's life and all you're doing is enhancing it with all of these technologies. Now, I mentioned before about publishing. We're talking before about physical distribution, which is burning CDs and DVDs. But one of the things I want to impress is the use of blogging platforms to share the MP3s. Because of that, with a blog, you can use the MP3, but you can add to it text, photos, video, all sorts of other bits of information to enhance the whole experience. The audio is so well enriched when you've got a photo to look as well, because it blends into the storyline and helps to explain things so much better. So one thing I'd like to encourage is go over to WordPress.com and sign up for a blog. Start yourself your own little personal site. The reason for this is something to practice on, something to start writing a few notes on so you get a bit of an understanding of how blogging software works. Start writing some posts about this experience of putting all this together and then build on that. And when we get around to eventually posting audio, you'll be quite familiar with it and you'll be able to set up another blog for the particular person that you've got in mind here. Write about your experiences day to day. Write about practicing. Add some photos. Maybe even make a little video if you've got a video camera. And put it all up and see how you go with it. You may not know how to do it at this particular point in time. You might feel a little bit overwhelmed, but I strongly recommend that you just basically dive in there, start poking around, learn on the job, and it's amazing how your knowledge will develop and your resources will slowly accrue as things go by. So in summary, what are you after? What equipment do you have? And do you know how to use it? And what are your publishing skills like as far as blogging and sharing this knowledge? And ultimately, how do you think this vision is going to look when you start to produce it and put it out there? What do you see in your mind's eye? And what would you like to share with the community? Over the next several months, we're going to work bit by bit through each of these processes so that in due course, you're going to have all of the knowledge and all the resources to go ahead and do exactly what you want to do at the level you want to do it. I look forward to giving you all that knowledge. I look forward to producing all that content for you so that you can go out and produce audio life stories that we're just going to blow people away. Now, to help you get underway, I'd like to recommend, and what you do is you go to the site, createyourlifestory.com, and I'm going to have notes for what we've been talking about today, and I'd like you to work your way through those. Consider each of those specific situations, the facilities you have and the knowledge that you've got. What would you like to create and what more information you'd need? Have a look at all that and basically do an inventory of all those things and see where things are in your world. To give you substantially more information, make sure that you sign up for the ebook. In the ebook, there's all this information and a lot more as a bit of a guide to help you work your way through all of these situations. Have a look at them, highlight them, work out what you're after and what you'd like to produce. Have a look at some other versions of this, I'd mention them in the ebook, of what you can produce. And then get back to me. Let me know what you think. I'd be really interested to know what's going on in your mind. Remember, the site is createyourlifestory.com and you can get hold of me by sending me an email at chat@createyourlifestory.com. I'm on Twitter, of course. I'm Ian Kath, Kath, and the Twitter account for us is Create Life Story. So if you go to each of those sites, sign up and say hello. Love to be in touch with you. There's lots of other ways you can get hold of me in the contacts page. You can check all that out. And don't forget to sign up on iTunes. Just click on the image of the iPhone and they'll take you straight across to iTunes where you can subscribe. It's nice and easy that way. Hope this episode has been of some help. Hope it's given you a few more ideas. Let me know how things are going out there and please leave a comment underneath this particular episode. I'm wishing you the very best of days. See you around sometime. Bye-bye.
I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Whatever makes you happy, whatever you want. You're so very special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a what the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here.